Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video we are going to discuss about the most hot topic of international relations and the national politics too. So the topic is about the Trump 2.0 and its impact on India-US relations and on the world. So Donald J. Trump has won the presidential elections, and if you are still unaware about the process of the electoral college of the US, you must watch my past video after this video. So Trump has won the elections, and like it is a very historic one. Because it mostly it happened in the U.S. politics that very known fact that a candidate can be like the president of the U.S. only for the like 2 terms for the 8 years, not more than that. It's this is completely different from the India perspective. So president can be like only for the 2 terms, and it mostly happens that the one who become the president of the country of the USA have a very like 2 consecutive terms. Mostly it happens if he or she have a term, 2 terms, he will have a consecutive terms like the Barack Obama. But in case of Donald Trump, he won the elections to 2016. He lose the elections to 2020, and he again won it in 2024. So there's a break of 4 years between it, and like all we know that the Trump has like uh, so many cases like for the murder, for the extortion, many other cases. So that's why it is a very like a historic elections, as Trump has won it. Now talking about the Kamala Harris, so many speculations were there over it. Like maybe the issue of the abortion didn't work for the Kamala Harris to bring a large amount of women junk to her to make her win the elections. And even there was a like data that around 54% of the women voters vote for the Kamala Harris, and it was 57 when the Biden won the elections. So it came lower down. Now talking about the impact of Trump 2.0 on the world. Talking about first of all talking about the Israel. So it would be rejoicing for the Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister. As Trump is very big supporter of the Israel, he'll support Israel in its war with the Gaza, the Iran, and the Lebanon. And this war will intensify in the future most probably, as the more and more funds will be given to the Israel over it. Talking about the Ukraine, so would be there would be like deep anxiety and apprehension in the Ukraine over it, the Trump winning the elections. European countries have like very every reason for being in apprehension over the Trump 2.0. Trump has said in the past, like a very famous thing, he said in his rallies and the campaigns that he will ask Russia to do whatever hell with the NATO countries if they didn't pay for the NATO. So NATO countries majorly have all the European countries. Major countries are from the Europe only, except like we have the US and the Canada. So it would be like the European countries must be there in the deep anxiety. So it's a very high time for the European countries too. Next is the China. So China would be on the high target of the Trump. Very high tariffs will be imposed on the China by the Trump. He have said it in the past that China is like the China like impose very high tariffs on the US. So US products. So he'll do it again. Like he'll reciprocate it and will impose high tariffs on the China. Talking about the Russia, so it's very good news for Russia, as both the leaders, the Putin and the Trump, share very good relations, and most probably the sanctions will be lightened by the Trump on the Russia, and the negotiations would be there between the Russia and the Ukraine, and war most probably will stop because Trump has said that he'll not start the war, he'll stop the war. Talking about the Bangladesh, so like very like Bangladesh nowadays is there in the news because of its like turmoil in the country. The extortion, like the executions of the Hindus, and many other things, as the Sheikh Hasina has gone out from the Bangladesh, and Muhammad Yunus interim government is there, and Muhammad Yunus is the one who have always supported the Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Biden. So and I have said that in the past that like if Trump won it, if Trump is the president, it's not good. So Trump will not forget that. So it's a very high time for the Bangladesh too, for the UNS too. So maybe the democracy will come again in the Bangladesh, and will have a like they will have a very fresh elections. That was like completely changed in the Biden time period. Biden's like the 4 year period he was the president. So that was the case of the Bangladesh. Talking about the Pakistan, so there would not be like much changes with the relations with the Pakistan. Talking about the like Iran, talking about the Iran, so there will be like very high economic sanctions on the Iran, as Trump is very anti-Iran president, and he also imposed tariffs on the Iran in the past when it was Trump, like first term of the Trump, and it will like, of course it will intensify in the future. So it's very like high time for the Iran too. The financial economic turmoil must be there in the Iran. So these were like major countries that would be impacted by the Trump 2.0, some with a positive, some with a negative. Now, talking about the India US ties, how will they be affected? So, first point is of trade. So, not just the China, but also the India. As Trump have said in the past, in his interview, that Modi is very Narendra Modi, who is the Prime Minister of India. He's a very good guy, and like he's like a king type personality. But he have said that China impose very high tariffs, Brazil impose more high tariffs, and India is a tariff king. India imposes very high tariffs on the US product, for example, the Tesla cars. So he has said that like it's the time for the US to impose tariffs on the Indian products. So this can be the problematic thing, and even S.J. Shankar, the foreign minister of India, have talked about it, like the trade and the immigration thing would be very a thing to be talk about, and the thing to be like checked out again and again, to monitor again and again, because it will like the Trump 2.0 will affect the trade relations. And another question arises, like why the trade with the US matters a lot for the India. So it matters a lot because US is the largest trade partner of India with the 120 billion dollars trade, and it is a like favorable trade. If we talk about the Russia and the China, when India have very good relations, trade relations with the Russia and China too, but it is not favorable. It is unfavorable. We are in the trade deficit, but it's not the case with the US. So that is also very important thing to be talk about. Now the next thing that we can talk about is like key. In the first term, in the Trump's first term, he imposes 25% tariffs on the steel and 10% on the aluminium from the India, and it will of course move high if the things will go like that. India is imposing very high tariffs, as Biden has branded India as a tariff king, and like many of you must be thinking like why India imposes so much tariffs on the US products, that Trump has even said that. So this is like the major, like very simple answer to this question is like the to save the domestic industries. Experts have always said that India is a country with like many small industries, many domestic industries that do not compete. They can't compete with the MNCs and the many high level companies from the countries like the USA. So that's why we impose the tariffs, and the tariffs is like it's a very favorable way to save the domestic industries, and this is what done by all the countries, and India is nothing new in it. And secondly, India have even introduced the PLI scheme for the 14 priority sectors, and tariffs can only boost that domestic industries, that priority sectors industries. So that's why India imposes very high tariffs. Even according to a report, Bernstein research report, they have said that Trump presidency would hit the China, but the benefits for India would also be limited because of these tariffs. And talking about like in even the Indian pharmaceutical exports, and the exports would face a setback from the US because of the H1B visas restrictions. We'll talk about it in the coming things. So that was majorly all about the trade thing, how the Trump 2.0 will affect the trade relations with India. Talking about the immigration, so Trump was very particular about the immigration thing. He have always said that he'll not avoid this thing. He'll restrict the immigration, illegal immigration. So it will affect the India in a way that ki, you must have heard about the H-1B visas. So it is like a temporary visas which allow the foreign professionals who have done the bachelor's degree to be in the US for more 3 years to work there. So the many IT companies, many IT sectors are working in the from India. They are working in the USA. So it can be like restrictions over it. Trump have said that he'll increase the wages, but it will come with the restrictions. So these are two things that can be like probability very problematic for the India. That is the trade and the immigration thing. Then the thing that can be very good for India is the military and the research cooperation between both the countries, the defense cooperation. When Trump came become the president in 2016, his first term, we like signed very many agreements uh, with the USA, like the LEMUA and the many other agreements. So there's probability of signing many other agreements. And talking about the Quad, so Quad is a multilateral thing, a multilateral group, and it has four countries, that is USA, India, Japan, and Australia. So it was in 2017 that this group revived, and it was under the Trump. So like there will be more emphasis over the Quad and to counter the China in the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean. So it would be good. And even there's a Quad summit in 2025 in India, so Trump would be coming here. Like there will be talk about the military and the defense cooperation too. So this is somehow like the advantage for India. Secondly, we can say that the Trump will be less likely to put pressure on the India over like human rights and the communal issues going on in the India. Trump have even said in his like the recent post that he was against the political like the turmoil against the Hindus in the Bangladesh, and how he'll support the Hindus in the US and in the Bangladesh too. So that is very good thing, and many Hindu voters like the Indian American voters have voted for the Trump according to the estimates, so they'll be benefited for it. So I think that was all about it, ki how the Trump 2.0 will affect the India, the trade and maybe the immigration, the military cooperation. So if you like the video, please subscribe to it, and if the video was on your demand, and if you like it, please share it and comment in the comment section. It's just a comment for you, but it means a lot for me. It encourages me to make more and more videos. Thank you very much.